We often think of purchases in terms of dollars and cents. We see price tags and immediately calculate the financial cost. For instance, a new phone costs $1,000. We might save up for it, budget for it, and finally make the purchase. Similarly, a week's worth of groceries adds up to $200. We plan our meals, make a list, and head to the store. But what if we viewed these purchases differently? What if we looked beyond the price tags? What if instead of seeing just the monetary cost, we saw the time it took us to earn that money? How would that change our perspective? This is the core idea behind the concept of buying with time, not money. It's about understanding the deeper implications of our spending. Every purchase, from a cup of coffee to a new car, represents hours of our lives that we traded to earn the money to buy it. Each dollar spent is a fragment of our time. This realization can be a powerful tool for changing our relationship with money and consumption. It can lead to more mindful spending. When we understand that we are exchanging our precious time for material possessions, it forces us to confront the true cost of our spending habits. We start to see the bigger picture. It's no longer just about the price tag, it's about the value we place on our time and how we choose to spend it. Time becomes a currency of its own. By shifting our perspective to view purchases as time investments, we can make more conscious and intentional decisions about how we use our hard-earned money. We become more deliberate in our choices. We begin to ask ourselves, is this purchase worth the hours of my life I spent earning the money for it? Is it truly valuable to me, or is it just a fleeting desire? Reflecting on past purchases with this mindset can also be enlightening. We might realize that some things we bought weren't worth the time we spent earning the money for them. Moving forward, this awareness can guide us to make better financial decisions. We can prioritize what truly matters and allocate our time and money accordingly. Ultimately, understanding the real cost of our purchases empowers us. It gives us control over our financial lives and helps us live more intentionally. By valuing our time and making thoughtful spending choices, we can lead more fulfilling and content lives. We can focus on what truly brings us joy and satisfaction. To truly grasp the concept of buying with time, it's helpful to quantify it. Think about it this way. Let's say you earn $25 per hour after taxes. A $50 dinner out represents 2 hours of your life. That new TV you've been eyeing for $1,000? That's 40 hours or an entire week of your life spent working to afford it. These calculations can be eye-opening. Suddenly, that impulse buy at the checkout counter doesn't seem so insignificant when you realize it cost you an hour of your precious time. This exercise isn't about making us feel guilty about spending money. It's about promoting awareness. By understanding the time cost of our purchases, we can make more informed decisions about what we truly value and what's worth our hard-earned hours. Imagine budgeting not just in dollars, but in hours. This perspective can help us prioritize activities and purchases that bring us joy and fulfillment. Ultimately, it's about finding a balance that allows us to enjoy life while being mindful of how we spend our time and money. The concept of buying with time is particularly impactful when applied to small, frequent purchases. That daily $5 latte might seem insignificant, but over a year, it adds up to over $1,800 and countless hours of work. Imagine what you could do with those extra hours. You could spend more time with loved ones, pursue a hobby, or simply relax and enjoy life's simple pleasures. By cutting back on even small, seemingly insignificant expenses, we can free up significant amounts of time and resources to pursue things that truly matter to us. Remember, it's not about deprivation, it's about making conscious choices that align with our values and goals. We've all been there, caught up in the hustle and bustle of a busy shopping day. Lured in by the promise of a bargain, we end up buying something we didn't need just because it was on sale. The bright signs and enticing offers make it hard to resist. But are we truly saving time and money, or are we simply spending more than we intended? Often, we walk out with a lighter wallet and items we might never use. When we view purchases through the lens of time, sales take on a new meaning. Time is a valuable resource, and how we spend it reflects our priorities. That discounted item might seem like a steal, but it's only a good deal if we were already planning to buy it. Otherwise, it's just another expense. If not, we're still spending time we could have spent elsewhere. Time that could be used for more meaningful activities or even just relaxing. Sales can be tempting, but it's important to approach them with a critical eye. Not every discount is worth the time and money. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Is this something that will add value to my life? Would I buy it at full price? If the answer is no, then it's likely not a true bargain, regardless of the discount. Remember, the best way to save both time and money is to be mindful of our purchases. Thoughtful shopping leads to better decisions and fewer regrets. Section 5. Shifting perspectives. How viewing purchases as time impacts our choices. The power of buying with time lies in its ability to shift our perspective. When we see purchases as time investments, it changes how we value both our money and our time. Suddenly, working overtime for a bigger paycheck might not seem so appealing if it means sacrificing evenings and weekends that could be spent with family and friends. We become more mindful of how we spend our money because we're acutely aware of the time and effort it took to earn it. This awareness can lead to more thoughtful spending habits and a greater appreciation for the things we already own. Section 6. The value of an hour. Recognizing the worth of our time. One of the most important aspects of buying with time is recognizing the value of our own time. Each hour is a precious commodity that, once spent, can never be recovered. How much is an hour of your life worth? It's a question worth pondering. The answer will vary from person to person, but it's essential to have a clear understanding of our own personal worth. When we recognize the value of our time, we're less likely to waste it on things that don't bring us joy or fulfillment. We become more selective about the work we do, the people we spend time with, and the experiences we choose to have. Section 7. Reclaiming our time, making conscious spending decisions. Buying with time isn't about deprivation, it's about empowerment. It's about making conscious choices that align with our values and goals. It's about reclaiming our time and using it to live richer, more fulfilling lives. This might mean cutting back on unnecessary expenses, negotiating a raise, or finding ways to earn passive income. It could also involve simplifying our lifestyles, decluttering our homes, and learning to be content with less. The key is to identify what matters most to us, and then make conscious spending decisions that support those priorities. At Section 8, Finding Balance, Work, Life, and the Pursuit of Happiness. The concept of buying with time is intrinsically linked to the idea of work-life balance. When we view purchases as time investments, it forces us to confront the trade-offs we make between work and leisure. Are we working to live or living to work? It's a question many of us grapple with. Buying with time encourages us to find a balance that works for us, one that allows us to enjoy the fruits of our labor without sacrificing our well-being. This might mean setting boundaries around work hours, taking regular vacations, or pursuing passions outside of work. It's about creating a life that is both fulfilling and sustainable. Section 9. Living intentionally, aligning spending with values and goals. Buying with time is ultimately about living more intentionally. It's about aligning our spending with our values and goals and making choices that support the life we want to live. This means being mindful of our spending triggers, identifying areas where we tend to overspend, and developing strategies to resist impulse purchases. It also involves setting financial goals, such as saving for retirement, paying off debt, or funding a dream vacation. When we have a clear purpose for our money, it's easier to make conscious spending decisions. Section 10. Time well spent. Embracing a more meaningful approach to consumption. The concept of buying with time is not about living a life devoid of material possessions. It's about shifting our focus from mindless consumption to meaningful experiences. It's about recognizing that true wealth lies not in the things we own, but in the quality of our relationships, the pursuit of our passions, and the memories we create. By embracing a more mindful approach to consumption, we can free up our time, energy, and resources to focus on what truly matters and live richer, more fulfilling lives.